Hey Blake, Tom Weiland here from Empire, and I would like to talk to
That's great. I didn't ask. But since you have a microphone and a camera crew here, I might as well let my feelings out from what happened on the last episode. What I did to Easton, he deserved after years of pent-up rage. He has made me feel, after trying to end my career, these shiny little knee braces here aren't for show. They're not for fun. This is what I have to live my life with, because he was arrogant, because he didn't use his brain. And now because of that, I have to suffer for the rest of my life with the fact that I'm never going to have the full mobility of the knee that I wish I had the chance to do. But, so Tom, now that you're here, let me ask you, where... Let's start a riot! Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Mike Shadow, the traveling voice of pro wrestling, and I am here with the face of the showcase. Introduce yourself, sir.
My name is Jacob Dash and Mike Shadow. It is a blessing to be right here on episode 2 of Wrestle Frontier, but also tonight, Gerard Bowden will be in action. Shadow, I wonder what he will showcase for us here tonight.
He made it a point last week that this is his house, but speaking of a man who believes that this is his promotion, Chris Andrews will speak on the challenge made by Sebastian Case on episode 1.
Not only that, but in the main event here tonight, Terry Atkins has laid down the challenge. These two men are looking to bring that in tonight. Brian Cruz versus Flynn North later on tonight.
And our opening match, women's action on hand as Lily Wada takes on Lacey Asher. I can't wait for it. It's a stacked show, and of course, as always, I can't wait to feel the atmosphere of this crowd. Feel them come to life. Listen to them now as we're getting ready for our opening match.
It's already a big fight feel already here tonight, Shadow, and what a night we have lined up here tonight. This is surely going to be one of the biggest nights here tonight in Wrestle Frontier.
And making her way to the ring now, someone who you're not unfamiliar with here at HGV TV, a woman who only just a few weeks ago competed on episode 3 of Empire against Tori Rex. Lily Wada making her way to the ring, and as we know of Lily, now that we've seen a little bit more of her recently, I'm sure you were there watching the show for Empire as well. This girl's got a lot of heart, she's got a lot of fight, but she's also got a lot of inner fun that she likes to expel out when she's out there in the ring.
Yeah, over my, tenure of these 10 years being in this business, commentating all around the world, a lot of people call it high energy. That's what a lot of people call it, and that's exactly what Lily Wada shows in the ring, is high energy. She's always happy. She's always ecstatic to be in the ring and to be able to show her craft. Not a lot of people knows that she comes from a family tree from the overseas in Japan, where she started in her training. So I'm going to wonder here tonight, how much did that match take a toll on her when she faced up against Tori Rex? I'm wondering, did Tori Rex, brutalize her just maybe too much, or did Lily Wada, did she come back, did she train harder to try to get a victory here tonight? I'm wondering that, my channel.
Not only that, but the assault by Peaches, you gotta wonder if maybe that plays a factor coming into this match. What we will find out early on, that I believe true in my heart, is Lacey Asher, if she's going to see what had happened on Empire, if she's been scouting her opponent coming into this match. Of course, it was announced yesterday on the showcase that you had commentated that this match would be happening, and you gotta think Asher's been paying attention to the matches that that are accessible to find, to see what her strengths and weaknesses are coming into this one.
Asher, she is going to come into this matchup already in tonight. I'm about certain that she has been already thinking about what is she going to be able to do to beat Lily Wada here tonight, or maybe even sizing her up here tonight as well, as we get to this replay from what happened at Reawakening show.
Yeah, Reawakened, we saw what happened. Lacey Asher got the victory back from Mia Everly, the rematch from their Valor Hatred a couple of years ago. Down goes Asher, and this, even though she had won the match, Asher ended up flat out at the end of the night, and that has been sitting with Asher. And as someone who's followed the career of Lacey Asher since she debuted in 2013, she is not a woman to forget, she is not a woman to forgive, but she is going to take out any frustrations and anger she has on Wada tonight.
I'm about certain she is going to want to do that here tonight. This is a big matchup for both of these ladies coming into this contest, and I'm wondering which one of them can put the thing that kind of beat them to pass. I wonder which one of them can kind of move forward here tonight, and we're about to find that right now in this opening contest.
Well, we're going to find out whether it's Lily Wada bouncing back from a match that didn't get a conclusive finale against Tori Rex, or if it's going to be Lacey Asher, a woman who was humiliated after her victory at Reawaken. The second women's match here for Wrestle Frontier. So far, we're starting things off, and Lily Wada looking to have a good time. Wait.
You can already see with the shades already on. Lily Wada, like I said, it's high energy. She's been wearing them shades all day long. I know she's probably got a superpower behind him somewhere.
She traded off the bunny ears and nose, the little paws for those glasses. And already Lacey Asher not having it. Asher, one of her biggest weaknesses, into a cover here. 1, 2, no. That's one of her biggest weaknesses, is that anger. Sometimes Asher gets a little in her own head and causes her own mistakes. Can't let it happen here, but Wada right now having a good time, in the crowd firmly behind her. Oh, but she drives right into the turnbuckle.
Yeah, now, Lacey Asher, my goodness, that shotgun drop kick into the corner. My God, and Asher now just brutalizing Lily Wada here. This is very bad for Wada right now.
Asher wants to absolutely play to her style, and now going after what I believe is going after the glasses there. I think she ripped them off.
No.
Talk about a buzzkill.
That is not... Yeah, I mean, she was just having just a little bit of fun. Not a lot, but just a little bit of fun to try to get these fans into it. But Asher, no nonsense here tonight. She is not waiting, and she is not playing around.
Has her in a camel clutch. Not exactly the strongest way you could have it held in, but Lily, already calling to the crowd, needs the favor of the fans behind her as she's being fish hooked here.
Yeah, as I said, the referee needs to watch out for any fish hooks or any going after the eyes, because Lacey Asher will definitely slide one finger into that as well.
Lily to her feet. Oh no, gets caught in the sleeper hold.
Oh.
And this sleeper hold, one of the best moves in the arsenal of Asher. A woman who has won 4 HWF Women's Championships, and all of them to this submission.
Wait a minute, Wada though. Reversing out of it. Wada now. A little shimmy and a shake there from Lily Wada. Very, very good done. And now Wada bounce off the ropes. No, she misses Asher. My God.
What a PK. And I was just about to ask if you think that Lily is trying to play mind games here. Maybe start drilling a couple of thoughts of doubt in the head of Lacey Asher early in this one. 2 count, no.
No, I mean, I definitely think so. I think Lily Wada, you know, she's been training for so long. You got to understand that she knows this business, and she knows it like the back of her hand. She's been training since the young age of 10. That's a lot of years in this business where you're training just as a little one. And she has been doing that ever since the age of 10. Now, she definitely has some mind games in the bag for her, but Lacey Asher is going to have to watch out for that. But the cover, nope, only just the count of 2.
Asher is a strategist and a tactician in that ring. One thing I know for sure is she's going to be careful not to play too much into those games. Again, it's kind of a play-by-ear thing. Both women, and of course when it comes to all wrestlers, come in with strategies, but how long into the match does that play out before you have to either adjust or mix things up?
It works just for a little bit, but I think Lacey Asher, as she understands, let's go to the Boston Crab. Let's try to wear down Lily Wada, or maybe apply it just a little bit more just to make her tap. Lacey Asher is smart. That's the one thing about it. But maybe sometimes she lets the anger get the better of her.
And this right here, though I like the Boston Crab, she is sitting down on it. She's got to have a better grip on it. It looks like she doesn't fully have the legs the best way that she could, but that's what happens with a bigger frame of an opponent.
Oh, wait a minute. Look at Wada, though. Look at Wada, Shadow.
Oh, yeah, she escapes a grapevine of the ankle.
And,
oh my God. Asher turned inside out off the shove.
And, big jabs here. Jabs right to the jaw. And, big right hand and another jab. A little split, and big clothesline from Wada.
Wonderful combinations coming in, flies into the corner, and once again eats the buckle. A metal ring under that pad.
And once again. Grapevine, no, wait a minute. Wada. Shoulders down. Is that gonna do? No.
She was close. You felt the energy of the crowd there.
I mean, you felt it even from here.
Yeah, we're all the way up on the stage, and we're feeling the rumble of the crowd. I can't imagine how it feels in the center of the ring, like an eye of the storm, as the people come to life right now, clapping away for Lily Wada. They've seen this before. Coming off the ropes, gets sent to by Asher. Off, hits her with the knee, has her up, and we saw this on Empire. Round the world we go, into a power slam.
Beautifully done there. Now Wada now. Maybe just one more thing, and maybe just one more will get her the victory in this contest. What is Wada setting up for here?
Coming off the ropes. A little shimmy, a jive. I don't even know what the hell to call that. Into a big-time leg drop, having fun while she's doing it.
A little bit of dance moves right there from Lily Wada. Beautifully done, and no, just a 2. Man, Lily Wada, I mean, that was very, very close. Asher got that shoulder up. Lily Wada has Asher on the ropes here, Shadow.
Absolutely, and this is something that you have to stay on Asher for. Wada using her experience. She's no rookie. She may be new to the scene and to some people's eyes, but she's definitely not new around the block here. She knows what she has to do, and she's trying to capitalize as she's looking for a big-time move. Could this be the one to put her away on the second rope? Superplex position.
This is High Rent District right here, they like to call it. Oh no! Asher super kicking the back of the knee, and that double foot stomp from Lacey Asher there. That might just do it, Shadow.
Did you catch? Oh, late too. Both women getting closer to beating one another, but did you see that after Lily landed, immediately holding and favoring the back of her leg?
Yeah, that's some... Oh, God, the running face wash in the corner. It does a lot of damage to the back of your knees and mostly to you know, the cartilage and everything in your knee. I mean, Lily Water is definitely in pain, and she's definitely hurt. But Lacey Asher does not care about any of that. No! Ducks versus Lily Water.
Has her hooked in. Exploder suplex both women down after Asher tried knocking her out with the knee.
Water has to get to the cover.
With a mile-long crawl here in Phoenix, as if crawling through the desert. 1, 2, no! Asher with a gasp of air, even after all of this.
But Water, she looks disappointed that she did not get that pinfall victory. And oh my God, that knee right to the ribs of Lacey Asher. But Asher comes back with the right hand.
Both women throwing heavy fists. I would argue in this situation, though Asher has the upper hand, never mind that when it comes to fists flying, this definitely favors Wada, as Asher more predominant with those knees and those kicks. And look at the combinations back and forth. Striking, discus, lariat, no. Went for the head kick, and that could have been a knockout shot.
Wada now.
Popped her up in the powerbomb.
Wada, she's carrying it around. Buckle bomb in the corner.
Absolute pandemonium. The crowd has come alive. And are we going to see what could be what Lily puts this away with? Here we go.
She's winding it up here. She's winding it up. Mike Shadow, kid. No! Asher with the reversal. Oh, wait, no. Water. Oh, this is going to be it. This is going to be it. She's going to do it.
Oh, what a late 2. I am shocked that wasn't 3. Oh, and now slips in, has it before, straight down into the body scissors. This is what she needed before.
Like an anaconda.
Absolutely. A snake-like grip has her prey.
Has it wrapped all the way around, maybe a little bit under the chin there, but the referee is not in good position to make sure that that's not a choke. But Lily Water and that fighting spirit that she has trying to fight this out, it might just not be enough for a Shadow.
Does Asher finally have what she's looking for? She's not letting it go. Wada is panicking, and that's what you can't do in a submission like this. You gotta be able to get to your feet. You gotta be able to power through. And the referee's gonna make the decision.
Yeah, I was about to say, that grip was way too deep. Asher was not letting it go, and the referee might have needed to save Lily Water away from herself from that here tonight. My goodness, what a match. But Lacey Asher, she just put an exclamation point on that victory here tonight.
100%, and I couldn't agree more. We talked about it. As long as Asher didn't get in her own head too much, she could have had this one successfully so, and, you know, probably saw a bit of a Mia Everly in that match, seeing red as she wants to try to get back at her after being embarrassed at Reawaken. But regardless of the fact, Asher wins in a match that she doesn't seem too thrilled that it took as much effort as it did to put Lily down.
What a contest. What a match that was. You got to give the shout out to Lily Water here tonight, but Lacey Asher with the victory. What can be next for this young woman here tonight?
Well, we know that Asher's going to want to get back at Everly, of course. You know, one of the things that has been brought up about Wrestle Frontier is that there's no introduction of titles yet, but you gotta wonder if that's potentially something that'll happen down the line. Something that'll entice both the men and women to fight harder and go to try to be the top dogs of their respective divisions.
Yeah, it definitely will, but what a matchup we already had. What an opening contest we have already had here tonight, and we are not done yet, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to want to stay tuned for all of it here tonight.
And as we're getting... Wait! Something's happening down... Who the hell is that?
Oh, wait. Something's happening in the ring. Who is that? Something's happening down here in the ring right now, and oh my God! Right on the top of her head.
Northern Lights bomb. Down goes Asher. That doesn't look at all like a Mia Everly, but who the hell was that? That just assaulted Asher.
I mean, definitely. I mean, she got dropped right on the top of her head. We're gonna need some medics and some people, officials down here to get Asher out of the ring. I mean, she got dropped right on the top of her head, Shadow.
We'll have an update and more when we can. Ladies and gentlemen, coming up next, Gerard Bodden in action. When we return from our commercial break, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Well, we are back, ladies and gentlemen, here tonight after you just saw that masked assailant attack Lacey Asher. But while we were on commercial break, there was some news being broken down to us that there was something happening backstage. That we're gonna cut right to what was going on right there in just a second. I mean, we don't know what was going on here. We was trying to make sure Lacey Asher was okay, and we were just getting insight to us. And right here is what we see right now, Sean.
Easton Artorias, after the main event last week, being attacked by Blake Cyrus. It looks like he's getting himself a piece, and Blake gets thrown right into glass by the security office down in our parking lot.
I mean, what is going on around here? I mean, this is just my second night, and there's already more chaos happening tonight than it was last week. I mean, this is... When you said, let's start a riot, I mean, truly, it feels like we are truly starting a riot here tonight. I mean, now Cyrus and Easton fighting everywhere, and we already know the history that those two have.
And speaking of violence, you just talked about Easton and Cyrus fighting. We just saw Asher get attacked, but one of the most disturbing scenes from episode 1 was JC Pullins, the return after 5 years, after competing and losing effort to Arashi Ray in a death match that was widely spread across pro wrestling. This was the disturbing scene, what he did to the poor guy who was just trying to get a couple bucks, work a local show, and then all the security that got taken out in kind.
Yeah, I mean, I was in the arena on that night, and let me tell you, the fear that was in everybody's eyes from what they were seeing Pullins do. This was violence on a whole nother level that I have never seen ever before. I mean, the blood that was shed, the men that had to get carted off on a stretcher to the hospital. This was totally different, and I'm telling you, I mean, this is mainly the reason why we have less security here tonight.
Less security, but from what we were told, there was a decision made by the office in regards to this situation with JC Pullins, not only with the attack of the poor local competitor, but of course all the security that are down too. The owner of Wrestle Frontier and the board of directors at HGV TV have made the call that JC Pullins is indefinitely suspended from Wrestle Frontier after what happened, and though I don't want to feel like I'm giving any biases, I feel like for the safety of everyone, both security, wrestlers, and everyone involved, that's the right call.
Yeah, it was definitely the right call. It needed to happen. It needed to be stated, and it just needed to happen just for a little bit of control, just for a little bit of controlling this chaos that is going on around here in the Wrestle Frontier. It needed to happen, and I don't want to see anybody get suspended, but JC Pullins was out of line.
Well, hopefully things will shape back into action. Of course, people have their reasons for fighting one another. We want those things settled in the ring like we're about to see now, not with every other chaotic situation that's been going on around here.
Yeah, well, we're about to see up next, the King of the Mountain, Gerard Bowden, will be in action here tonight. Bowden had a lot to say in that promo last week on episode 1, and now tonight, he is looking to showcase himself in front of the Wrestle Frontier audience once again for the first time since Reawaken.
I'm going to pose a question to you, because I've been thinking about this a lot since Gerard Bowden defended the IWA's World's Heavyweight Championship at Reawaken. He came in and he talked about how this was essentially his rental property, that people owe money to him. He is the landlord of Wrestle Frontier. With him coming in with a World's Championship, can you argue against Gerard Bawden potentially being the top guy right now in Wrestle Frontier, a company that doesn't have its own championship, its own identity yet.
I mean, a lot of times you can call somebody a face. A lot of times you can call somebody who has the physique, who has the experience, who may be a veteran, the face. But when somebody comes in and they tell you that they want to take over, they tell you that they want to be the face, and they will do it by any means necessary, let me tell you, you need to believe them. And that is exactly what Gerard Bawden has been doing here in Wrestle Frontier. When he defended the title up against Terry Atkins, he talked about how unfulfilled he was as the IWA World Heavyweight Champion so far, after everything that we were going through and things like that. Now he comes into the second episode here tonight after what he said last week. He just wants to make sure he puts everybody on notice, and he lets them know, hey, this is my domain, this is my kingdom, and I am truly the king of the mountain. That's exactly what Gerard Bawden is looking for here tonight.
I don't think there was a better way I could have surmised everything that you had just said there. A franchise player, for sure, and with being one of the few guys to walk in with a championship. Of course, we've now seen Terry Atkins introduce his RFW Global title as a stake to fight for. You gotta wonder, what is Gerard Bawden willing to do to make sure that he stays at that top guy level? Because it's not like there isn't a group of talent back there, young and old, that are willing to take that big spot from him. And speaking of young, let's talk about the man making his way to the ring right now, Ryu Takatsu.
Ryu Takatsu, I mean, look, he is a young face here tonight in this community and in these industries to date. But man, let me tell you what, this man has talent. This young kid has every intangible to become a champion. He has everything that he needs to become one of the best. And tonight, he is going to have a test up against a 10-year veteran in Gerard Bawden. Ryu Takatsu, can he take it? Can he overcome the in-ring generalship that Gerard Bawden has? I am wondering that here tonight. Takatsu has a lot to live up to tonight, but I also know from watching his work, Takatsu can definitely pull it off if he just puts it all in the tank.
Well, it wouldn't be the first time Gerard Bawden's faced this type of competitor. We talked about the IWA's World Championship, and we talked about the defense briefly with Terry Atkins, and here's the bell. But I want to compare this to one of his more recent opponents in Seoul, South Korea, when he took on Blake Cyrus. Though the height difference isn't there like it was with Blake, I feel like stylistically, it's the closest matchup you can make so far of the IWA title matches that we've seen from Gerard Bawden. And speaking of that generalship right away, trying to take control of this match.
Yeah, I mean, that matchup in South Korea for the IWA World Heavyweight Championship was sanctioned by the IWA officials. But that matchup maybe was a little bit more chaotic than what IWA officials and what Gerard Bawden are used to. Cyrus brought a different style to that matchup against Gerard Bawden, and he almost had him beat. It showed a lot of flaws and it showed a lot of holes that Gerard Bawden may have had. Gerard Bawden has not been quiet at all about the injuries and about his time being in the ring. Maybe that bump card is coming up, but Takatsu flying and soaring with that tope suicida through the ropes and out into his body, just bounced off that barricade shot.
We talked about it, and I wonder, Ryu Takatsu's been all over the place. He's been in so many promotions, I couldn't even begin to name them all. It's a laundry list at this point. But I gotta wonder if he watched that match knowing he was coming in tonight to face Gerard Bawden, and he's coming with a game plan shotgun dropkick right to the teeth of Bawden, and he might have to get them checked after to make sure that all teeth are in line. 2 count, no.
Yeah, if you ask me, Takatsu kind of reminds you of this modernized junior heavyweight style that we see over and over again now. He kind of reminds you of that, and he can utilize that to his advantage. Gerard Bawden, he may not be the fastest, but let me tell you what, Gerard Bawden isn't exactly the same as he used to be when he was 20 years old wrestling in Japan. But that right there is the smarts of Bawden, that double underhook backbreaker. Is that going to be enough? No,
Ooh,
not enough.
That was close, like a 2.8, 2.9 there. Bawden staying on top of it, and, enjoying his work here. But, that's what it's all about. And you talked about, the differences in their style. Wait a minute, roll through, sunset flip bomb.
Beautiful. Beautiful there from Takatsu. Oh, wait. Bottom reversing.
The technical side of Bodden coming into play, but both men going back and forth. One of them just trying to win through this hold here. Neither one willing to let go.
No.
Only a one.
Takatsu now. Strikes from Takatsu. Beautifully done with the rolling kick to the liver. And, oh, man.
Rolling through into a lung blower. 1, 2. No.
Not enough.
Bodden stays in it.
And like I told you about that style of Takatsu, it is kind of taking a toll on Bowden right now so far. Takatsu's being fast. He is being first. And that is what matters. Being fast and being first. And he's doing that here tonight. And he's going up to the higher end district though right now. Shadow! There's no water in the pool.
Absolutely none. Landing on the floor. Going for Memphis special perhaps? No.
Oh wait, no.
Up in the air.
Oh!
I believe a Canadian neck breaker.
Yeah, modified neck breaker there. No.
Oh.
My goodness.
Ryu definitely came in with a strategy. He is flying. He is throwing in all cylinders. He's trying to make every single moment he has the offense mean something. But Bodden is trying to make sure with that ring generalship that you talked about as he was making his way to the ring, trying to shut that down and out.
Okay, hold on now. Look at this. Bowden, look, this is obvious right now. He has the fingers right into the eye, and he's fish-hooking Takatsu here. This is not right, and the referee needs to get in there.
The nose and the mouth, all of it being hooked right now. The referee is giving a lot of discretion here in this one. I absolutely agree with you, Dash. He's maybe giving a little too much discretion. I think he needs to step in and do something here. But Ryu calling for the crowd to make noise for him, to get that adrenaline pumping. Will he be able to escape this? Yes, he will.
Yep, and yes, he does. Takatsu slipping right under the feet of Gerard Bowden, but Bowden with a kick to the ribs.
Oh, what a sick kick, that rocket kick. Oh, thrust kick connects. Slips behind. Has him in a direct suplex, but he hasn't let go of the hooks.
Oh, huge German.
Ryu trying to show what he can do. Turns him around.
Oh my God.
That could have been a mistake.
Brain buster. Bowden calls it the bow down buster, my lord. And the Memphis special right on his head for the second time.
Back-to-back heavy shots, and that'll do it.
My goodness. What a contest that was. But go ahead, Shadow. What a match.
It's not a marathon in this case, it is a sprint. Bodden makes sure that in every moment he found an opening in Ryu's offense, and he was able to capitalize. I don't think there was any better way to assert your ring generalship than on display in that matchup. What a performance by both men, but for Ryu, nothing to be ashamed of. I'm sure there's many more opportunities coming his way in the future, but for now, Bodden's on top of the mountain, just the way he sees fit.
Yeah, remember when I said be fast and be first? Well, Bowden wasn't fast, but he was first with the huge strikes and the huge momentum. And that was told by that bow down buster and the Memphis special at the end. Bowden with the victory here tonight. But Takatsu, let me tell you something. He showed a lot of heart here tonight. Takatsu definitely has a future in this business. And let me tell you, I am excited to see what he can do next.
Well, that's not all we have going on tonight. Of course, our main event coming up later tonight, but we will now hear from Chris Andrews. Will he accept the challenge of Sebastian Case for the upcoming pay-per-view Origin? We'll find out when we return from these commercial breaks.
This is America. Don't catch you slipping now. Don't catch you slipping now. Look what I'm whipping now. This is America. Don't catch you slipping now. Don't catch you slipping now. Look what I'm whipping now. This is America. Don't got you slipping up. Look how I'm living up. Police be tripping up. Yeah, this is America. Guns in my area.
Conductor.
Aiming fire at your favorite. Bum ass niggas is fugazi. I spit in all of their faces. Flagrant was pushing Percocets on the pavement. Now we in Paris posing and prodded like it's the Vogue pages. All praises due. I teach you niggas like I'm noble, truly global. You not even close to notable. We eating noble, blow C notes, get paid for quotables. Take notice, I'm a star like the logo on Golden.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for the commercial break. And so far tonight, Dash, let me ask you, how you feeling for your first episode of Wrestle Frontier?
I mean, on a gauge of 1 to 10, I mean, let's call it a 20 or a 15 or maybe a 25. Tonight has been an amazing night here tonight in Wrestle Frontier. But now the man has come to speak to everybody. The challenge was laid down by Sebastian Case. We have not seen Sebastian Case, Mike Shadow, for years. And he came back and he went face-to-face, eye-to-eye with Chris Andrews, and he laid down the challenge. Shadow, I'm wondering what's on Chris Andrews' mind here tonight, and I'm more so wondering, just like everybody else, is he going to answer that challenge?
Well, Chris Andrews has made it very apparent. He said it himself that it seems like the ghosts of his past are coming back to haunt him. First, Easton Artorias, which he successfully ended the story at Reawaken, finally having the third match. It was almost like a running joke for years that the trilogy never concluded, but Andrews finally has that behind him. Now there's a man, Sebastian Case, who hasn't been active in the business since 2017. He appeared for one match in a gauntlet for BDG's anniversary in 2019. But another man from his past who Sebastian Case has never beaten, Chris Andrews. Now Andrews, you can see it in his face. I think it tells the story that he feels offended that he even has to come out here and talk about this. He wants to move forward, and just like how we talked about Gerard Bodden thinking he's the franchise player of Wrestle Frontier, Chris Andrews thinks the exact same way. But maybe I'm putting words in his mouth. Let's see what the Celtic Barbarians got to say.
Yeah, I am wondering what he was about to say. Man has time to speak. Let's give him that time and let's give him that pleasure.
Man, oh man, oh man. Phoenix, Arizona. You know, you guys, I have not been here in such a long time, and it would have stayed that way if Jason Payne hadn't have given me a little bit of extra cash to show up. I didn't want to show up to this dump.
Well, a mean-spirited approach.
Yeah, as I said, that can be a lot of, enthusiasm right there for me.
For context, folks, Chris Andrews is in the hometown right now of Easton Artorias, so I'm not surprised that Andrews would stoop to this level, especially in a former rival's hometown.
Yeah, me neither.
Alright, settle down. You know, as much as I didn't want to come here, I guess I gotta respond to someone or something like that, but hold on, before we get on to that, let's talk about some more important matters. Like me putting your hometown boy in the dirt and burying that section of my career permanently in the past. I'm done with him. I'm done with Easton Artorias. Just like I said I was going to be. I said I was going to beat him. I said I was the better man for all of these years. And now, everyone knows it. And now that you're all aware of that, now that you all know that I was always telling the truth, I was finally ready to move on with my career and become a world champion for the third time. I was finally ready to be the top star that I always have been. But then another, how should I put it, another ghost from my past decides to show up. Someone else that can't seem to let go. And Sebastian Case, I'm not talking about you yet. Yeah, that's right. Now, you see, a lot of people thought I wasn't going to pay any mind to this, considering I looked over him. Quite literally, I reawakened. Blake Cyrus. I'm going to tell you this one time, and one time only. I may not have appeared to have been paying attention at Reawaken, but I can promise you I heard every single word that you said, and that is your one free pass to talk to me like that, because I can promise you, Blake, I can promise you, if you ever do again, I will break you in half. So for now, I suggest you settle your issues with Easton and you stay in your own lane. So now, on to the man of the hour. Sebastian Case, the man that still seems to be living in 2014. The man that still seems to be playing pretend. The man that I introduced to reality back in 2016, but he seems to have forgotten. So as much as I don't need this match, let's make that perfectly clear. Just like the match with Easton at Reawaken. This match that Case has challenged me to at Origin, I don't need this. Because I've already beaten him multiple times. You know what he's never done? He's never beaten me. And that seems to be the reason he's come back from his bodybuilding career, because he feels like he can just come back in and be the exact same superstar that he used to be. He feels like he can hang in the ring with someone like me. But I hate to break it to you, Sebastian Case, even at the peak of your game, you were doing this full time, you still couldn't get the job done. So you know what? As much as I don't need it, Chris Andrews never passes up the opportunity to main event a pay-per-view, especially not main eventing 2 in a row. So you know what? You got it. I will gladly embarrass you in front of the entire world again. And I will send you packing just like I did all those years ago. But, you know what? I'll give you something a little extra, okay? I'll do you a solid. I want to see where you're at in the ring, because that match with Sin, I'm going to be honest with you, bro, I was not seeing it. I was not seeing it. I did whatever this next French thing is you were working with back in the day. I don't see it, and these people don't see it. They can tell you that they do, but they're lying, and you're lying to yourself. You're lying to yourself. You've been lying to yourself your whole career that you think you're better than me. You're not. Sebastian Case. Next episode. How about we have ourselves a little pick your poison? How about that, huh? You pick someone, I pick someone. And once we're through that, then it looks like one more time you're gonna have to say hello to reality.
Chris Andrews is controversial as ever. You clearly have some choice words, Jacob. Don't let me step over him.
I mean, look, he even came out here already and he already laid it down. He's told Sebastian Case what he's thought of him, as you see him walking aside of us right now. Chris Andrews.
I'm going to call this the RFW Open. Line up 4 of your hungriest young bucks. Fight amongst yourself, and the last man standing goes to Origin. That lucky sumbitch gets to stand toe-to-toe against a motivated American hero for a chance to be a campaign of the globe.
Like you just mentioned, we are coming up next with our main event with Brian Cruz and Flynn North in the RFW Open, where the winner will face the winner of the next episode's RFW Open. They'll meet on episode 4, and the winner will face Terry Atkins at Origin. But just adding to the list of things about Origin, Chris Andrews came in, he made sure to make fun of the hometown, he made sure to make fun of their hero. He accepted the challenge of Sebastian Case, and something I quickly want to touch on was he found it convenient timing to finally mention Blake Cyrase only after he'd got put through a window earlier in the night.
Yeah, and after all of that, Chris Andrews laid down the challenge, but right now it is our main event of the evening. The man, how I like to call it, the future franchise of this business, Brian Cruz, coming down to the ring, and man, he has been on a roll as of late. He has been on a major momentum shift in his career, and tonight he is looking to advance on in this RFW Open to maybe earn himself a chance to face Terry Atkins at Origin for that RFW championship.
Brian Cruz recently, in his most recent match at least from this time, was in RPW, where he took on Cedric Young after their fatal four-way where they had met at Steel to Survive. Brian Cruz coming away with the W, but of course that didn't come without special interference, we'll call it. Cruz wasn't able to get it done alone, but at the end of the day, a win is a win regardless of how it was gotten. But hopefully we don't have to resort to something like that here tonight. We've already seen a lot of chaos. I would just, at least me personally, would love to see this happen straight up between Brian Cruz and Flynn North, a first time ever matchup.
Yeah, and I think Cruz, he wants to prove that he can do it straight up. I mean, I have seen him go into some back and forths with, Gerard Bowden, who's on the roster. As of late, he's been in the back and forth with Garo Tarijian as well. I mean, he wants to prove that he is truly the best, and he wants to do it in the middle of the ring. And I think he wants to prove that here tonight, going up against Flynn North, that he can do it just all by himself.
Let's see if he can. Both men having very opposite ways coming in here. Of course, we just mentioned that Cruz winning his most recent match in RPW, but let's talk about the man who you just saw 24 hours ago and the rest of us who tuned into the showcase. Flynn North, who a lot of us are seeing for the first time, unfortunately came out on the losing end against Xavier Crace, and what that could potentially mean coming into this matchup. You're coming into a small four-man tournament style, and you're coming in single elimination. There's not going to be any, rematches or anything else. This is going to be one shot, one and done. If you're Flynn North, how are you approaching this match knowing that you had just tapped out the night before, coming into this one against a motivated Brian Cruz?
He has to put it out of his mind. He has to get all of that out of his mind. He has to get all the frustration, all the anger, all the disappointment, all the self-doubt, all of that. He has to put all of that away, because it's now or never for Flynn North here tonight. This is the first match of this RFW Open. He has to win this match, or else there's not another opportunity coming like this ever again. He has to do it here tonight. He has to win this matchup here tonight. So, in my eyes and in my mind, he needs to put it away, and he needs to focus on the point and the task at hand, and that is winning this matchup.
What I like here, when I saw him coming down to the ring, this is going to be the first match that I see directly that I'm going to be commentating of his, is that it seemed like he had, at least if there's any doubt in his mind, I didn't really see it on his face. He came in very poker face struck. Maybe has moved that out of his mind. Hold on, roll through here. We could see the end of this RFW Open early.
Oh, no. And Brian Cruz is very, very talented. But Brian Cruz, what I saw in that matchup against Gerard Bowden, he's very, very smart. He's smarter than what a lot of people give him credit for. And he is showing that already in his career. Like I said, I call him the future franchise, and I mean that. He is the future franchise. He's the future of this business. And I promise you, if he keeps it up, he'll be a franchise of a promotion or a company very, very soon.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Brian Cruz is someone newer to the scene of things. I believe he only debuted, 2021, 2022? It was something very recent, and he's already been making waves in multiple different promotions. He runs Headlock Productions. He has himself in a situation where he can put himself in big-time matches with big-time opponents, and I think that plays to his favor, being able to fight the best in the world, because the only way you're ever going to improve is if you fight people higher your stature, or at least that's what they tell you. And, you know, with that, all the experience that he's gained from tons of matchups that he's had already across the last couple of years.
Ooh, wait. Yeah, we were talking right there. And Flint North, I'm like, my God, just threw him across the ring. Brian Cruz was going for that huge flying knee there, and Flint North, he sidestepped it. He caught Brian Cruz. He threw him up in the air, and this is what Flint North is going to need here tonight. I know we were talking about Brian Cruz, but Flint North as well. He is going to have to show that he is also maybe a future of this business as well. He needs to show here tonight that what happened at Showcase last night was just a one-night, one-time thing, and he will not be making a loss a regular thing in his career.
Well, of course not, and you know, you always want to bounce back from those losses. Of course, you always can learn from them. Cover here. 1, 2, no. But Xavier getting his patent submission in, sometimes it's about preserving yourself. You know, if Flynn North knew that he was coming into this match tonight, and if he knew the RFW Open stakes that were coming into this, you know, I don't see anything directly wrong with preserving yourself and making sure, sure you didn't get the win, but at least you're not hurt coming into this match. And that's something I want to question as we continue the action here. Is Flynn hurt? I don't think so, and if he is hurt, he's not showing signs. Then again, he might be hurt now. He just went rib first into the goddamn barricade.
That backbreaker on the barricade. I mean, Brian Cruz, like I said, he is smart, and he is going to use anything to his advantage around the ring, in the ring, or even backstage. He is going to use it, and he is going to use it to get him the victory, and he's doing that right now. You were talking about maybe people helping him. I think he's more so going to use maybe objects or things to help him, and Brian Cruz is doing that right now. Cruz, oh my goodness, what a reversal right there to that cradle.
2 count, no. And we saw a little bit of this playing earlier. Neither man wanted to give up the hold here, but this time only going to get broken up after one of the rollovers. Flynn now going to come off the ropes. Oh, taken down.
Goodness, beautifully done.
Almost like a tiger roll there. Into the arm trap cross space. The crowd immediately want to see this continue. Flynn cannot, in my opinion, have a repeat of last night. He can't submit here. He needs to get himself going. He needs to start rolling with his technical prowess. He needs to start taking this one more to the mat.
Ooh.
He needs to start playing this more to his style.
Yeah, and as you were saying that, Flynn North with that knee to the back of the head of Brian Cruz, escaping out of that arm-trapped crossface right there. And now, Brian Cruz is on the rebound and gets choked with that huge clothesline from Flynn North. Flynn North has to keep up this momentum shadow if he wants to get the victory.
Of course, and you know, with the big spotlight here, I don't know how many big spotlight matches Flynn North has had. Of course, he was in the main event of the Showcase, missed an elbow attempt there. But this isn't the first time that Brian Cruz has found himself in a big-time main event. And this is going to be one of those things where potentially inexperience in this position could be costly. Down he goes with the Tornado DDT. Dropped on his head, center of the ring, nowhere to go, 2 count, no.
Beautiful satellite DDT there from Brian Cruz, and Cruz now has Flynn North on the rebound here. This is a back-and-forth action here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. This is very, very well worth the main event.
2 young, hungry guys who are fighting for it here. We've had a hell of a card. I don't think there's a better way, especially with the stakes on the line here. One man gonna go to face their opponent from the winner of the Episode 3 match on Episode 4. You got to know that Big Terry Atkins watching this one in the back to see the hungry young bloods that have been picked out, to see what the strengths and weaknesses are of each man as he prepares himself for a big-time title defense at the next pay-per-view.
Yeah, that big corn belt cowboy of Terry Atkins, he's definitely back there watching it here tonight, and he's probably loving what he's seeing here tonight. Some future talent, some men who is young and hungry to come after that championship. Terry Atkins is looking for legitimate challengers. He's looking for men who is going to push him to the limit, and that is exactly what both of these men will do here tonight. And oh my goodness, those rotating elbows from Flynn North.
Absolutely a couple of elbows, but it looked like he was trying to, oh my god, he was trying to get the blood, the feeling back into his arm there. after the arm breakers and the wrist being held over in the ropes, and now Flynn... After the knee that sent Cruz over the rope, then a suplex to the floor. That is a thin mat, nothing but concrete under it, and a miserable fall for Cruz.
I was just going to say the same thing. That is a thin mat, but underneath that mat, ladies and gentlemen, is pure and solid concrete. It will break your back, it will lacerate your liver or your kidney, and Flynn North with that elbow to the back of the head. Flynn North could have the victory here, Shadow.
Oh, but look at the positioning. Cruz knew where he was. No panic on the face, and if he's shown a hell of a poker face there, Flynn can't let it get to him. The crowd not happy with the decision, but what's done is done. You gotta move forward. Flynn trying to stay on it now, as...
Oh my goodness, look at the shots. Like a boxer with the rights and lefts just pounding on Brian Cruz.
Cruz has been lit up by strikers before. That was definitely one of the harder bunch of shots I've seen him take. Coming off the ropes, goes for a boot, doesn't connect, and now Cruz has an opportunity to take advantage. Oh, right in the midsection.
Oh man, big clubbing blow to the back, knocks Brian Cruz down, and Cruz now is on the mat, and Flynn North is taking advantage of it.
What is Flynn trying for here? Discus?
Ooh,
no, float through, has him. Oh my god!
Goodness.
Picked him up in the butterfly, used his momentum against him, dropped him to the floor, and now suplex has him. Keeps control into a backstabber.
Goodness, did you see Flynn North bounce in the air off the knees of Brian Cruz, and Cruz now up onto the high ring district?
Oh, could have went for the final highlight there, didn't get it. Turns around, got caught with a low spin kick. And now Cruz coming off the ropes, rolls through, super kick attempt, roll through there, picks him up, power bomb, and both men are down.
Jesus Christ, my goodness.
He put everything he had left in that power bomb. Both men are tired. This match hasn't even gone, I don't think it's gone 10 minutes yet, and these guys are throwing everything at one another.
The heavy blows are hitting, the heavy offense is hitting. Everything in this matchup has been hard hitting so far. And both of these men are proving, my goodness, that STO into the corner are proving why they should be challenging Terry Atkins in this RFW Open. But Flynn North with the left shoulder up. Cruz is frustrated, Cruz is angry.
You know, and one of the saddest parts about this RFW Open is only one of these men are going to get the challenge. I would love it for Terry to get in there with either of these guys. And of course, who knows, the two competitors next week in the RFW Open as well. But for now, neither man is out of this one yet. Comes off, shotgun drop kick into the corner. And now Cruz in prime time position. Will he land the final highlight? Will this be the end of the match?
Calling for it here. Cruz
has him.
Gets him.
1, 2, 3.
That is it. The final highlight. And it was the final highlight for Flynn North on this episode of Wrestle Frontier. Brian Cruz with the victory. What a matchup. What a contest.
These two fought hard, but it was, unfortunately for Flynn, the final highlight of the night. Brian Cruz advances in the RFW Open, and the next time we see Cruz in action will be Episode 4 when he takes on his opponent from Episode 3. Unfortunately, that moves Flynn North to 0-2. What path will both men take after this one? All I know is that it's been a hell of a card. But from Mike Shadow and Jacob Dash here at the Wrestle Frontier, I would like to say good night and thank you for tuning in.
What a night. What a night.